Welcome you all for yet another video, Dr. RS and you, Science of Cosmetics and Personal Care Products. Today, part 13, we will be discussing on product forms and building blocks. Today we will be discussing on product forms and building blocks, right? What we will be covering today is what are the various product forms that can go into the formulation of personal care products, cosmetics and personal care products. Definition, a broad definition of what are those, examples of those products currently available, and then I will mention you about the building blocks. Building blocks means the set of ingredients that goes into the formulation, or a group of ingredients that goes into the formulation of these products. So what we will be doing, we will be seeing the product forms, just discuss about each product form, and then in the last slide there will be building blocks, a set of ingredients that go into the formulation of these products, and we will end there. So building blocks, each and every ingredient, group of ingredients, for example surfactants, emollients, each and everything, every group of ingredients we will take in detail subsequently, right? Once we finish that, we will see how we can use that ingredients to formulate these product forms. So the product forms or solutions, ointments, pastes, emulsions, suspensions, lotions, gels, sticks, tablets, capsule, powder and aerosol, right? See, these are the set of product forms that can be that personal care and cosmetic products can be broadly classified into. Let us go into each product form, a broad definition of the product form and what can be the products in the market that can be attributed to this product form. Solutions. Solutions are monophasic and can be defined as liquid preparation in which the active agent and various excipients are dissolved in a chosen solvent system, right? So now solutions are monophasic, single phase. It has one liquid where solids are dissolved into this liquid and it is the final form, right? So there is ultimately at the end there is only one phase, it is a monophase, right? Now example can be hand sanitizers, okay, where it's a alcohol system where we have hydrogen peroxide and the perfume, right? So it's a Hand sanitizer is a simple solution. Now we will discuss the other product forms, ointments, and the other is paste. Ointments are smooth, thick, oily preparations for external use. Ointments can be petroleum jelly based or lanolin based, right? Ointments are used as a base to incorporate active ingredients. For example, zinc oxide ointment. Zinc oxide is not soluble in oil or in water. So, zinc oxide is incorporated into the base with high shear, right? Incorporated into the ointment base, and then zinc oxide ointment is prepared. Zinc oxide ointment is used for diaper rash and for minor cuts and burns, and for dry skin, dry chapped skin, mild irritations, zinc oxide ointment is used. Pastes. Pastes are semi-solid thick preparations in which high amount of solids are incorporated in a gel systems. Paste can be oily or water dispersible. Zinc oxide can be also made into paste, or the typical example of paste in personal care product is toothpaste. Toothpaste are water dispersible. High level of solids, the abrasives, are dispersed in a gelled system, right? That is toothpaste. All toothpaste are paste. This is the definition for a paste. Pastes are semi-solid thick preparations in which high amount of solids are incorporated in a gelled system, right? In a gelled system. So, the gelling, the water is gelled, or the humectants with very low amount of water. Humectant is glycerin sorbitol with very low amount of water, is gelled by polymers or thickeners like xanthan gum or carboxymethyl cellulose. No? It is gelled, and high amount of solid is dispersed in the gel. Calcium carbonate, it's a abrasive polishing agent for the teeth. It is traditionally used in toothpaste. Now silica based toothpaste have come into the market, but traditionally calcium carbonate is used, and that is dispersed into this gel, that is toothpaste. No? This toothpaste is water dispersible, right? Pastes are very thick and stiff, whereas ointments are soft, semi-solid preparations, and ointments are generally applied on the skin where you need a soothing relief to the skin for skin protection and dry skin, right? Pastes are used for different purposes. For example, the toothpaste, it's a very stiff product. Okay, so pastes are for there are preparations in the paste form also for skin, but usually ointments are used when intense moisturization and protective action is required to the skin. So this is ointment and paste, right? Next we will go to emulsions and suspensions. the product forms, emulsions and suspensions. Emulsions are biphasic forms, right? See, emulsions are biphasic systems. Usually emulsion contain oil and water. Oil and water are not soluble, so that is why they are biphasic. So emulsions are biphasic system. It contains two immiscible liquids in which one is finely dispersed in the other, stabilized by emulsifying agents, right? See, for example, oil and water is there. So the emulsion systems in detail we will go when we discuss about emulsions and suspensions in detail, how the emulsions are formed. But to understand here, you have oil and water. Now both are insoluble. Why it is insoluble, we will discuss later, and how we make it dispersible, we will discuss when we come to emulsions. Now, either water is the continuous phase and oil globules are dispersed in water, that is oil in water emulsion, or water is the continuous phase, or oil is the continuous phase and water is dispersed in the oil, that is water in oil emulsion. So here one will be the continuous phase and the other will be the dispersed phase, oil and water. So based on that, it is oil in water emulsion or water in oil emulsions, right? Almost all the creams you are using, the white creams you are using are emulsions. So we will go to the emulsion types and stability of emulsions, preparation of emulsions and all subsequently. Now just understand the emulsions. Emulsions is a biphasic system containing two immiscible liquids in which one is finely dispersed in the other, stabilized by emulsifying agents. This is emulsion. Suspension. A cosmetic suspension is a dispersion in which internal phase is dispersed uniformly throughout the external phase. The internal phase consists of insoluble solid particles having specific range of size which is maintained uniformly throughout suspending vehicle with the aid of single or combination of suspending agents. What is this? Basically, you take water and you disperse solids in water, powders in water. That powder is not soluble in water, but you disperse it uniformly in water. If you disperse it uniformly in water, what will happen? It can settle after some time. So you use dispersing agents so that it will keep the dispersed particle in the dispersed state, right? There are other techniques like flocculation. We will discuss about it when we study about suspensions also. So suspension basically in water, most of the preparations are based on water. Very few preparations are based on oil for external purpose, but most of them are based on water, right? So solids are dispersed in water. Solids are dispersed in water, usually stabilized by a dispersing agent. This is a cosmetic suspension. Example for a cosmetic suspension is calamine lotion, right? Calamine lotion is one where zinc oxide coated with iron oxide, that is called calamine. Zinc oxide coated with iron oxide is called calamine. Calamine, which is insoluble in water, is dispersed in water as fine particles. That is, calamine lotion is a typical suspension in cosmetics, right? So now the other form is lotions. Now, what is the difference between a cream and a lotion? Cream, generally most of the creams are emulsions, right? And cream is soft, but it doesn't flow. Cream doesn't flow, but lotion flows, right? It flows. Lotions can be either an emulsion or a suspension, right? If you take body lotions, most of the body lotions are emulsions. Calamine lotion is a suspension. So it can be an emulsion. Lotions can be an emulsion or suspension. Most of the creams are emulsions, right? Pond's cold cream, vanishing creams, then anti-aging creams, then sunscreen lotion, it's an emulsion. So these are all emulsions. Suspension, typical calamine lotion, right? Gels and sticks. This is the next form, right? Gels and sticks. Don't worry. Gels, what happens? No, you structure a liquid. If it is water, you structure the water with a polymer. The polymer content will be very less. Might be 1% polymer content in 99% water. You can gel the water, right? So a gel is a semi-solid that can have properties ranging from soft and weak to hard and tough. We are concerned about soft and weak structured gels. What happens? Gels are defined as substantially dilute cross-linked system. What gives that cross-linked system? The polymers, which exhibits no flow when it is kept or when it is at rest, no steady state, when it is at rest. But when you give slight shear, it breaks and it flows, right? By weight, gels are mostly liquid, yet they behave like solids due to three-dimensional cross-linked network within the liquid with polymers. It is the cross-linking within the fluid that gives the gel its texture and contributes to the tackiness. In this way, gels are a dispersion of molecules of liquid within a solid medium. That's what we can say. Because the solid medium is very less, it's the liquid. The thing which holds water or the liquid in a gel form, water is a liquid, no, liquid in a gel form is the polymer. Cosmetic gels are thixotropic in nature. It's a rheological term, thixotropy. What is thixotropy? Solid at rest and flows with small shear, right? If you take a gel and apply, cosmetic gel and apply on your skin, no? What happens? It disperses very easily, but it looks very thick in the bottle, but it disperses very easily on your skin. That is called the thixotropic nature, right? You understand gel? There are this aloe gel products, no, aloe gel moisturizers, aloe gel moisturizers, aloe gel after sun bath products. So you can see clear gels, right? But gel is in the bottle. But when you take it and apply on the skin, it breaks and spreads very easily. That sort of product is called thixotropic. Thixotropic is thick when at rest, but breaks with a small shear. Shear means what you apply, that you apply on the skin, no, that is shear. When you apply like this is the shearing you are giving to the gel, right? So shear. Cosmetic gels are thixotropic. What are sticks? A cosmetic stick is a structured system prepared as a long, slender, cylindrical form. Lot of examples, Example, lipsticks. Lip balms can come in stick form. Deodorant sticks. Right? So a cosmetic stick is a structured system prepared as a long, slender, cylindrical form. So that is a stick. Then tablets and capsules. Tablet is a compressed solid form. Capsules are solid dosage forms in which actives are enclosed within a hard, soft, soluble shell, generally made of hard or generally made up of hard or soft gelatin capsule, gelatin or cellulosic material capsules, right? Tablets and capsules, why are we discussing in personal care and cosmetics? What is the relevance? It's more a pharmaceutical, you might think. I will show two examples in which these tablets and capsules technology are used in personal care products. These are the two examples. This is the picture that shows a pack of compressed face powder. In this face powder, what happens? They fill the powder in a metallic container, right? It's called gaudet. That metallic container is placed below a punching machine, like it's similar to tablet punching machine, and it is compressed. The powder is compressed, right? The powder is also formulated with binders. The binders keep the powder intact, right? It doesn't make it powder. It doesn't make it break. So the formulation should be in such a way that the powder is hard enough to retain its shape. At the same time, it should have a payoff. What is payoff? When you remove the powder from thing, it should come. It should not be so hard that nothing comes out, but it should be hard enough that it should not break. So this is this as a binder, I told you. This is one such technology where similar tablet technology can be used in this sort of compact makeups. This is a picture which shows a pack of Retin-A and ceramide capsules. These capsules are not for internal consumption. It is for application to the skin. Just before application, here this is the sealed portion. It has to be broken. The contents have to be removed, poured into your palm and then applied on your face. So this is an example of how the capsule technology is used in personal care. Now each capsule, since it's just opened before application, the freshness of the content which you apply on the skin, retin-A and ceramide, the actives is ensured. Now the other form is powder. What is a powder? Powder is a blend of solid materials in a form of fine powder. Right? Powder. Prickly heat powder, talcum powder, all these things are powder forms. Face powder. Right? These are all powder. It's defined as powder. Aerosol. Right? Aerosol is a dispersion of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in a gas. Right? All your deodorants and antiperspirants and deodorants are aerosols. They have a propellant, which is a gas, and the perfume is dissolved and it's a liquid, and there is also solid particles, aluminum chlorhydroxide, the antiperspirants. So aerosol, when you spray, you get that aerosols. It's in a pressurized form inside, and the gas is a propellant. It propels the actives out, and that in the form of an aerosol form. So aerosol is a dispersion of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in a gas. So the typical example of aerosols is deodorants and antiperspirants, which comes in a pressurized container. Right? These are the product forms. So what are the product forms we discussed? To revise: solutions, ointments, paste, emulsions, suspensions, lotions. Lotions we discussed. Lotions can be an emulsion or a suspension. It is between cream and lotion. Cream is in a solid form. It's a soft solid form. Emulsion is a flowy form. Right? Lotions can be an emulsion or it can be a suspension. Suspension example, calamine lotion. Emulsion example, most of the body lotions are emulsions. Right? Then we saw gels, sticks, tablets, capsules, powders and aerosols. Now we have seen all the product forms. Okay, these are all the product forms that go into the cosmetics and personal care products. Okay, now to make these product forms, we have to use group of ingredients. It just the product forms doesn't come, but a group of ingredients have to be used to make these product forms. So I will just give you the groups of ingredients mostly that goes into the product form, and subsequently we will discuss each and every product form, what is the product, each and every building blocks, okay. And so for each product form that goes into the cosmetic and personal care products, there are ingredients that goes into that. Those ingredients I usually call it as a building block, okay. The building blocks makes the product form. So we have to, I will in the next slide I will show you what are those building blocks, most of the group of building blocks, and subsequent sections what we will do, we will discuss little more about those building blocks, right. So what are the building blocks? Water, surfactants, emollients, humectants, rheology modifiers, flow properties that alter the flow properties of the product, and binders, opacifiers, abrasives, preservatives, antimicrobial preservative, antioxidants, chelating agents. We have the active ingredients, color, perfume and flavor. What is a perfume? What is a flavor? Okay. Perfume is one when used for an external product, it's a perfume. For example, when you develop a perfume for a cream, you call it as a perfume. Flavor is always used for internal products, taken internally. Usually what we develop for toothpaste, we call it as a toothpaste flavor. We don't say toothpaste perfume. We say toothpaste flavor but a cream perfume. That is the difference between cream, skin cream perfume, or a deodorant and antiperspirant perfume, or a shampoo perfume, not shampoo flavor, shampoo perfume. They are all used externally. Flavor is used internally. For example, we say Bonvita flavor, it's not Bonvita perfume because Bonvita is taken internally. No? So, Boost flavor, Horlicks flavor. So, for those things we say flavor. Or chocolates flavor, vanilla flavor for biscuits. So, those are all flavors. Perfume is for external, flavor is for internal, and generally toothpaste is a product which is considered internal, and so we say toothpaste flavor. So, this is what I want to share with you today. No, how was it? Little dry? But these are all very, very important. You have to know the product forms. You have to know the product forms. So next, I will, at the end, I share my life lessons. So today life lessons is very, very important. Very important. You are not the body. You are the soul. Body is the temple of the soul. So you have to maintain the body well to evolve your soul. Bhagavad Gita says, don't cry over a dead body, because the person has not died. The person is not the body. Person is the soul. His soul has left. Since the soul has left, person is not there. First of all, the person has not died, and the soul has already left. The person is not there. Then what is the point of crying over a dead body? That's what Bhagavad Gita says. But We are all human beings. We are so attached towards the physical things, physical body. So even the car or something which is very personal to us have some scratches. The car scratches, people are angry, possessiveness, right? So for example, the soul and the body, you are operating the computer, you are not the computer. The sculpture, he makes the statue, he sculpts statue, but the sculpture is not the statue. You drive a car, leave the car and go. As long as you drive the car, car goes, and when you leave it, the car stays there. It's useless. So, you are not the body, you are the soul. That is the inner science. You are the soul. That is the lesson I learned that I want to share with you. Thank you.